Well, hello, friends, and welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado, where I separate the truth from bullshit, facts from fiction, in plain English. Today, I'm going to talk about an issue that has come up quite a bit over the past, number of years, but I have had this question come up quite frequently over the last few months, and I just wanted to be able to cover it so that you know the proper information, so that you know what you need to do if you're not getting compensated properly. All right, my friends, so without any further delay, let's get at it. And we're back. So as I'm sure you can tell, I'm still a little congested from this flu that's been weighing me down for the last, it's been over a month now. And so I hear it's something that's been going around and it's quite serious. I hear it from the different members throughout the province. So I wish you well if you are suffering from the flu. I hope that you get well soon. I do appreciate all the well wishes I've had from many members and followers and subscribers over the past few weeks. I do appreciate that, and I am feeling a lot better. And I haven't been posting as much as I would like to, but that's about to change. I know that the WSIB has been happy that they haven't had me banging down on them. But as you all know, I may be gone for a little bit, but not for too long. With respect to the mug, if you wait till the end of this video, I'm going to announce 4 more winners. And because I was not able to post as many videos once a week as I had indicated when I started this contest, excuse me, I've extended the contest, if you will, until the end of March. So many more mugs will be given away. The subject matter for today's video is, it may not seem very important, but it actually can amount to quite a lot of money at the end of the day when dealing with delayed payments. And that's how the WSIB deals with interest paid on delayed payments. There is a specific policy that covers that. As you know from my experience, and as I've shared with you from my experience, WSIB don't necessarily always follow their policies or do what's right. And many times you have to point it out to them so they can get it done. But if you're an injured worker watching this video and no one has informed you of your rights and the whole slew of benefits that you may be entitled to, how the hell are you going to know what to ask for, right? It's their job to inform you. But, well, the whole reason why I have this channel is because they're very deficient when it comes to that. So the policy, if you'd like to review it for yourself, it's policy 180108. All of the benefits that are payable under the Workplace Safety and Insurance Act, that's the law, all of the benefits have specific policies that were created by the WSIB as to how they're going to implement all of these different sections of the Workplace Safety and Insurance Act. Everything from loss of earnings benefits to loss of retirement income, to return to work, and all of those different supports and services that they should be providing. They're all covered by policies. And so anytime that I'm talking about a particular subject matter, I also like to reference the policy so you have it right there. And you can read it and become informed and then determine what action, if any, you need to take to protect your rights. Because as I said, they don't seem to be good at doing that. And I don't think that any of you have probably heard of this policy. But anyway, I'm going to put it up here. So policy 180108. The WSIB pays interest on delayed benefit payments to workers, or in the case of death, to their survivors. Delayed benefit payments are payments issued after the standard payment due date. Two groups of workers are entitled to interest on delayed benefit payments. The first group is workers whose claims are registered before January 1st, 1990, only if the delayed benefit payment is the result of an appeals resolution officer or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal's decision overturning a decision and now granting entitlement to compensation benefits. The other group is workers whose claims are registered on or after January 1st, 1990. Interest is also payable if an adjudication decision is overturned because a policy is revised after having been found to be contrary to the law by the board of directors. This policy is intended to place workers in the same financial position that they would have been in had the WSIB originally made the appropriate decision or processed the benefit payment on or before the standard payment due date. Okay, so as you can see, the policy is very descriptive and seems to be pretty much black and white. However, this policy is discriminatory, significantly discriminatory. And the reason why I say that is if you look at the first group of workers whose decisions could impact or result could impact in a delayed benefit payment, they're only going to be entitled to receive interest on those delayed payments if the case is overturned at their WSIB, the WSIB Appeals Services Division, so their own appeals division, or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal. Well, why is it discriminatory? Well, if you look at the second group, basically all workers who had a claim registered after January 1st, 1990, they're going to get interest on delayed benefit payments, regardless of whether it was an ARO or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal who reversed the previous decision. Why should that be? Why shouldn't it impact workers who were injured before January 1st, 1990, such as myself, for example? I can argue for all sorts of benefits, as I have over the years, the benefits that should have been paid to me that weren't, or decisions that were made that were erroneous, that were overturned. At the operating level, those decisions weren't overturned by the ARO or an appeals or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, and therefore I didn't get paid interest, right? I mean, it's bullshit, right? And then if you look down right at the bottom of that part that I read, this policy is intended to place workers in the same financial position that they would have been in had the WSIB originally made the appropriate decision. Okay. So if it's intended to put the person in the same financial position, why the fuck are you discriminating against people who were injured before January 1st, 1990? Right? Isn't that ridiculous? It's pathetic. But that's how these people make decisions. This is how this system works. And if it's not for people like me and other organizations and for workers fighting for their rights, people are going to continue to get fucked into the next century. As you can see, even though I'm still a little bit congested, they managed to rise that enrage that I have for these fucking assholes who will do everything they can to screw injured workers. So whether I agree with it or not, that is the policy and that's how it's being handled. Unfortunately, I doubt very much that there will be anything that will change that, because most people who were injured before January 1st, 1990 are much older, and the chances of them objecting to or requesting benefits are very diminished. And so the WSIB relies on ignorance in oftentimes to, um, well, not pay and support injured workers in the manner that they should and that the law intended for them to do. Let me just tell you a little bit about some of the benefits that are affected by this delayed benefit payment interest. So loss of earnings benefits, for example, non-economic loss benefit, loss of retirement income. But even when you're dealing with loss of retirement income, if there was a decision that was made to overturn loss of earnings benefits, and let's say that the WSIB had to implement loss of earnings benefits from, let's say, 4 years ago, and they have to pay all of that. The WSIB is required to place 5% of your loss of earnings benefits into the loss of retirement income fund. For individuals injured before January 1st, 1998, that would mean that it would be 10% that would be contributed to the loss of retirement income fund on the part of the WSIB for individuals receiving a future economic loss award. But here's the thing, though. How are they going to put the person in the same financial position had the initial decision been made when it should have been made, if they're going to contribute the 5% into the loss of retirement income fund? But what happens to the interest that has been gained on investment over the last 4 years on that contribution? In other words, individuals who were receiving LOE and who had their 5% contributed into the loss of retirement income fund 4 years ago, their income and their statement of income from that would be escalated based on the interest that's been generated through that investment fund. But the WSIB only thinks that they should put 5% in there without making any effort to compensate you for the interest on the investment that you've lost. So that's an issue that needs to be addressed, which some of us are in the process of having it addressed. Because whether it's $5,000 or $500, at the end of the day, every dollar counts, and it's your fucking money, not theirs, right? Even though they'll try to find any way they can to minimize how much they're going to pay you. And that may seem like a very little amount, but it's an investment fund for that reason, right? Because it's supposed to generate investment income and increase over the years. Otherwise, they would just say, here's another 5% added to your LOE. You can invest it in whatever way you want, in which case you would have the option of deciding who you're going to invest that money with, and of course, how much you're going to earn through that investment over a period of time. Reemployment payments. So you'll be entitled to receive interest in reemployment payments. Survivor benefit payments, as well as lump sum benefits, are also payable in interest, as well as dependent benefits. Temporary total partial benefits, that applies to individuals injured before January 1st, 1990. Again, it has to be as a result of a decision that was overturned by an ARO, or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal. A permanent disability pension or lump sum benefits, again, that only applies to individuals injured before January 1st, 1990. Disfigurement benefits also are paid retroactively with interest. And they've actually missed a very significant group, and I think maybe for a specific reason, and that is benefits that are paid if your case is handled by the Serious Injury Program. Benefits such as the independent living allowance, such as escort fees, such as functional or PCA benefits, so personal care allowance, and other benefits that are paid under that particular fund. So, my friends, this is the policy. These are some of the types of benefits that interest is paid, how it's paid. If you have any questions about your particular situation, by all means, give us send me an email at my address up here, and I'll make sure that I get the right information to you. As well, if you are looking for a lawyer or paralegal to help you with your appeal, whether it be at the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeal Services Division or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, we have a network of preferred legal providers who are experienced throughout the province who can certainly handle your case. Visit us at WSIBsettlements.com and we can make that referral for you. All right, my friends. So now I'm going to announce 4 more winners of this beautiful mug. I'm actually getting some t-shirts made as well and hats for the summer. And I'll have those available very soon. So the 4 new winners, your YouTube handle is at LB77999. The other one is at Dennis Stafford dash X6U3B. The next one is J Hutch 1681. And the next one is JC / KJ2ON. Send me your email at my email address so that I can get your address from you, your mailing address, to get the mug sent to you. And for the previous winners, those mugs are already being prepared for shipment. All right, my friends. As always, I enjoyed taking this little bit of time to impart some information to you. I hope that it was helpful. Hopefully, I will be more regular going forward. Things seem to be improving. So, and I'll be coming out with another video next week and hopefully on a weekly basis. For those of you who aren't subscribed to the channel yet, I invite you to subscribe. It's free. And it helps me grow the channel. And also, I would ask that you share my videos to others who you know have a WSIB claim, aren't being treated properly, or had a WSIB claim in the past and never really received what they should have, or have questions about what they did receive. And I'd be more than happy to review their case, to have us do that and provide an opinion, and then make any appropriate recommendations and referrals. All right, my friends. So I do hope that you enjoy a great weekend. And as always, and until the next time, take care.
We know that connecting with the right lawyer or paralegal to handle your case can be overwhelming. Do they have the expertise to handle your case? Do they have a good track record? Are they affordable? We've got you covered. Legal Pro Connect takes the guesswork out of finding the right legal provider. We've already done the vetting for you and connect you with the right lawyer or paralegal. With the expertise to handle your specific issue and at preferred rates. Get connected today. Visit www.wsibsettlements.com.